Over 2,000 years ago, a woman killed quite a few people and attempted to rule Egypt on her own. That didn't end very well, as we'll see. Berenice IV Epiphania was born around 76 or 77 BCE. She was the daughter of Ptolemy XII, the Greek pharaoh of Egypt, whose ancestor, Ptolemy I Soter, was a powerful general under Alexander the Great, and thus, when Alexander's empire was carved up, he got a portion. His descendants had been ruling Egypt ever since. Berenice's mother was Cleopatra V, not the famous one, who had 3 other daughters: Cleopatra VI, Cleopatra VII, the famous one, and Arsinoe IV. Berenice, the second oldest, was the only one of her siblings who was definitely a child of Cleopatra V, as the parentage of the others is debated. Pretty much everyone in today's story was named either Cleopatra, Berenice, or Arsinoe, so things will get confusing when studying this time. For today's story, the only relevant Cleopatra is Berenice's older sister, Cleopatra VI. If you were to draw out the family tree of the Ptolemaic dynasty, it wouldn't exactly be a tree at all, and it was this family that Berenice was born into. A very inbred, very murderous family. Berenice inherited that last trait, of course, and she murdered quite a few people in her career. Almost nobody in Berenice's family spoke the Egyptian language. They were Greek, after all. Berenice's younger sister, Cleopatra VII, was the only one who cared to learn it. In ancient Egypt, it was normal for there to be a husband and wife pair ruling together, which was why Berenice's mother had a number in her title. When her mother died, Berenice's oldest sister, Cleopatra VI, stepped up to take her mother's place. Some do believe that Cleopatra VI and Cleopatra V are the same person, but we'll just assume otherwise. Julius Caesar, Rome's powerful general, had said that Ptolemy XII, Berenice's father, was not the rightful pharaoh of Egypt, since he was only an illegitimate child of his father. He eventually recognized Ptolemy, but then annexed Cyprus, which Ptolemy's brother ruled. Of course, the Egyptians were angry about this, and so there was unrest, which Ptolemy had to sort out. He went to Rome in 58 BCE to get military aid from the Romans. Berenice seized the opportunity and had her sister, Cleopatra VI, killed, and by the time her father left, she was ruling alongside him. While her father was gone, Berenice had him deposed and had herself named Pharaoh of Egypt. Now that she was the pharaoh, she would be expected to marry a brother of hers and rule as his co-monarch. Her only choices for husband were therefore her 2 brothers, 4-year-old Ptolemy and 1-year-old Ptolemy. As we can see, the ancient Egyptians were very creative with their names. And what nearly 20-year-old woman wants to marry her 4-year-old brother? So Berenice continued ruling on her own, a decision which shocked the Egyptians greatly. However, Berenice did continue to look for a husband to make her rule more secure, though she probably had no plans to surrender an ounce of her hard-won power to him. Many men were considered for the pharaoh, including one whose marriage to Berenice was stopped by the governor of Syria. Finally, Seleucus, of the Seleucid dynasty ruling Persia, was chosen. The Seleucids also descended from one of Alexander the Great's generals, who had taken power after Alexander's death. And just the way the Ptolemies named so many of their princes Ptolemy, the Seleucids named a good portion of their princes Seleucus. Berenice's Seleucus was not exactly very well liked by her people or by her, so she murdered him. An easy way out of any undesirable situation, indeed. She quickly remarried to a man named Archelaus, who had ties to Rome. He and Berenice may have been co-rulers, but we aren't exactly sure. Just as Berenice's reign seemed secure, her father got the military support he'd originally requested from Rome. Only now, he was to use it against his own daughter. Ptolemy XI invaded Egypt in 55 BCE, 3 years after he had left. Archelaus probably died in battle fighting for his wife only a few months after the marriage. Ptolemy reclaimed power and had his traitorous daughter, Berenice, executed. This family truly had no problems with murdering each other. A few years later, Ptolemy died, leaving the kingdom to his next oldest daughter, Cleopatra VII, the one we hear about so much. She married her younger brother, murdered him, married the next younger brother, and murdered him too. Throughout her reign, she faced a serious threat in her younger sister, Arsinoe IV, whom I'll do a video on soon.